So the power of email marketing. So basically what we're doing is we are providing some type of opt-in, a landing page, a social media post. I mean, it's endless. But basically you're encouraging the consumer to take action to give you their email address. When they give you their email address, it is going into, we're going to use it in a funnel system. We're going to build relationships with them, and that is going to increase our sales. And a funnel is basically the sales process, whether we are in a direct market, we're on social media, we are in a brick and mortar business, the sales funnel works the same way. It is just like a funnel where it's wide open at the top and it narrows down to the bottom. And so at the top, that's where you are adding in your people. This is where people are opting into your email list. Why is this even important? Well, in this day and age, we are relying heavily on social media, our contacts, our connections, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, etc. But we don't own those platforms. Now we've talked about this. We've all had this in, I think Instagram, went down at some point. Facebook is shut down. You can't get into your contacts. You name it. It is the reality of the fact that if Facebook shuts down your account tomorrow for whatever reason, you've lost all those contacts. They're not yours. And so the way to ensure as a business owner that you will be able to continue to operate your business is you have to own that content. And when someone opts in and gives you their email address, they have said yes. They've said yes to a relationship with you. And so we then, as they're in our funnel, it's important to not just collect that address, but to engage with them. You are in the engage and convert process in that middle of the funnel. That is where you are building relationships. So we try to build relationships on social media. That's where we're providing valuable content. We're educating. We are engaging, we're messaging, we're doing all those things. That is that building relationships. And you can do that with an email audience as well. And then basically as you move them down the funnel, at some point, we call it the close. It's that converting your audience to the next step, to a sale of some type, another yes with them. But it doesn't stop there, because then they don't go away. They stay in your funnel system. So how do we attract? I wish I could get that, oops, to stop. And Angela has blown up her. Here we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. I can't make it stop. I tried. Just ignore it. I'll fix it later. So how do we attract our audiences? So drop in the comments ways that you would attract your audience. This is your content marketing. So that could be blog posts, videos, infographics, social media, email marketing, which is what we're really going to talk about. You can collaborate with other influencers. You can be on people's podcasts. You can do webinars. You can do networking events in person. This is not just a virtual world. This is all the ways that you connect with people. Absolutely. Offer a freebie digital product. Basically, you are building an email list through lead magnets, free ebooks, webinars. You're nurturing your subscribers with content, and you are providing them with an opportunity to opt in, an opportunity to say yes. Yeah, definitely, Heidi. You're giving them some type of value. It could be a simple free PDF with some tips on it. And that is a way that they say yes. Come on. There we go. Okay. Whew. I got to fix that. So the next step, we have their email address. And well, what do we do now? You engage with them. And you can do this in an automatic way with personalized follow-ups. You send tailored emails based on the action that they took within your funnel. So if you gave them a free ebook, your first follow-up would be a thank you for opting in and letting them know that it's going to be in their inbox. Or providing them with whatever tips there were, or, you name it. You always want to personalize them. You want to use their first names. You want to try to make some type of connection, that this is not just some Autobot, that you're a real person and you want to acknowledge that you want to build a real relationship with them. And so the engagement part is, we might start engaging, but then we sort of let the engagement go. Creating automated emails that deliver valuable content over time is an excellent way to engage, especially if you want to, and I'm going to show you some examples where you give them something because you basically want to collect their email address and you want to build that relationship, but then you want to lead them somewhere else. You want to lead them down that funnel. You want to lead them to whatever it is that you are selling or your next step. And so you do that through automated emails. They're timed, they go out automatically, etc. And that's how you begin to engage with them, so they get to know, like, and trust you. Just like we do on social media. You provide value, you provide education, but basically you are virtually providing an opportunity for people to get to know, like, and trust you. This is also a way that you can provide testimonials, you can provide social proof, but you want to continue to keep your prospects engaged and informed. So the next step of the funnel is that you would convert them, or so some type of conversion. So you're taking them typically from a cold prospect or cool prospect, and you are working to turn them into a warm or hot prospect, because ultimately you want to have some type of sale. So this second part, which is also part of engagement, is you're really working on the highlighting the benefits of why they should take the next step. You're also going to you might be addressing any potential objections that you think that consumer might have. And this is where you use social proof, testimonials, you use clear and compelling calls to action. You might have a limited time offer. You want to kind of create that sense of urgency that they need to take action, they need to buy, they need to click the next thing. And you want to be personalized with them. You are still in the mode of creating relationship. And actually, I'd like to say that you always want to be in the mode of creating relationship, just like we are when we are engaging on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or your blogs or your podcast, however it is that you are connecting. You want to continue that connection. You want to continue that personalization. Yes, relationship marketing, because when we, I've often heard of this as, in relation to the dating scene, which I get it, but you don't jump from one to this. It's, hi, my name's Angela, buy my product. Well, nobody's going to do that. Even our friends and family don't do that, or people that we know. You still have to give them good reasons as to why they need it. What solutions are you providing? You know, no one wants to kiss a stranger. Yeah, definitely not. So, and when you are, they've already said yes, and you have their email addresses, and then you pop into your email and you're like, hey, by the way, buy my product this week, and you haven't talked to them in weeks or months. That's the same thing. They've gone cold again. So you want to you want to make sure that you are continuing that relationship. This is also when we talk about in social media, and we talk about your contacts, and we say the follow-up process. This is the automated side of the follow-up process. You are checking in, you are following up. So this is then where we get to the close. So the close basically emphasizes the act of turning the prospect into a paying customer or moving to whatever next step that you have. And that looks different for everybody. But the one common mistake that happens is that the relationship does not stop once that customer makes a purchase or says no or moves to the next step. You have to continually cultivate your email list, much like you cultivate your social media list. If you stop posting on social media, it goes cold. The algorithm goes cold. It is very much the same in an email relationship when you are building this way as well. You've got to keep it a warm market. And that doesn't mean that you're always going for a close. It is that you are providing value. So all the things that we have been teaching on the Mavericks team about building relationships and continuing the conversation, providing solutions, all of this relates to email marketing. It's just a different way to market. It's a different avenue, but all the techniques still apply. So we're not learning anything new in that regard. We're just applying it to a new area. And again, I just want to say is that the customer is still saying yes and is still in relationship with you until they opt out. Until they opt out. So even I have people in my emails that I've had in there for years. And as far as I'm concerned, they are still my warm market. They are still there for me to build relationship with until they opt out. That's their final no. Until then, it's a maybe. It's a not right now. So I want to give you some examples of, of what we're talking about here. So, all right, I got to move a few things because I can't see them. All right, I'm going to close this for a second. Okay. So here's some examples of funnels. And if you look on the right side of the screen, you can see that I have this. This is a link to a Ruby funnel. And it has, I use, one of the funnels I use is system.io. They have I started with them because you could have one free funnel. And when I was learning funnels, I didn't want to buy anything else. I was using a free email marketing service, which I am still using. And so I didn't want to buy anything else. So I started using system.io and did my first funnel there. Now, that is not the only one. There are many out there. As a matter of fact, last week, Charisse did a great presentation on this. And what Charisse was promoting is basically an email marketing system. It's an automated follow-up system. And so I'm not promoting any one specific one. This just happens to be the one that I am currently using. So as you can see, I have this big long link. I have, one here. And then at the bottom of my screen, you can see that there's one here that says it's that's my website. So I don't know the chat open, but I know someone just said that they just got their website up. So this one on the bottom is what's called a pretty link. So a pretty link is where it takes, if you have a website, it will then take this link and turn it into something like this. They all do the same thing. That's the key. So I want to show you one. So I'm going to click this link here. This is one of my Ruby funnels, and so we can see it in action. So this is one I started to build. I've built several Ruby funnels because as Ruby has evolved, you know, first we had 1.0, we had certain features, and then we had 2.0, and now we have 2.1, but I didn't want to wait until we had everything. So I built a funnel and then built a different one and did a different thing. And beauty is they still exist. I can choose to use them or not. So this is one where I have at the top, I have a hook, you know, stuck in a content rut. I'm agitating their pain of feeling like they don't know what to do with content. Now, I will also tell you is that I have these, now that 2.0 is really up and running, and I guess now what we would call 2.1 with Canvas, I'm going to rework this one. But this was my first attempt at a Ruby funnel. And I sort of, I put up little videos so the person could play the video right here. There's a few other things. And this was back when I was like trying to figure out, what do I tell them? There's so much to tell them. I don't know what to tell them. But basically, they could get some information right here. And if they click this more info button, they give me their first name and their email address. Do not ask them for a lot of information. You will lose them. You have to make the opt-in quick, but you want to make sure you get their first name. We don't care about their last name because you want to personalize your emails. Every email I send out says, dear so-and-so. And so email address, they get all the deets. And see, I say you can unsubscribe at any time because they can. I use an email service, they can. So I click the link. I am getting their email goes into my contacts. Now, what have I done? I've taken them to my Try Ruby site. Why did I not take them to the Ruby site first? Because I don't have any way to collect their email address if I do. If I send them directly here, I don't know who they are. I might not get their contact information. You know, I have no way to follow up with them if I don't do something first. Does that make sense? Drop a 1 in the comments if that makes sense to you, that I'm taking him to the same place, but I am getting their email first. So where does the email go? Their email goes right into my email system. And then I have a campaign that once they click on it, I have emails that'll start up right away. An email that'll say, thank you for opting in. I'm so glad. Ruby's an amazing tool, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes on from there. Here's one where when I very first got started in Ruby, like the very first thing I did was I created this ebook. And so this was my very first funnel. Get your free ebook now, 5 myths busted about AI, and click here to get your AI myths ebook, right? So click here, first name, etc. They give me their email address, and it takes them to it says thank you, takes them to a link. Where does it take them? It takes them to Flex in Ruby. Again, just a different way to get there. Oh, and I wanted to show you, this is a passive income survey. This is a different way to do. If you are looking to engage, let's say you want to engage with network marketers, And this is a different way to engage with them, right? So this is a survey. They give me their first name, their email address, and they click submit, and it takes them right to a passive income survey. And it just asks them, how many sources of income do you have? 1, 2 to 3, etc. Oh, I have 1. How long have you had multiple sources of income? 1 to 2 years. You know, whatever this is, these are very quick questions. It's going to take the consumer a few minutes. Is 5 questions. Thanks for your feedback. That's it. That's all I asked them to do. But I have their email address and their name, and now I can thank them for taking my survey and how valuable their information is. And hey, by the way, since you're interested in income opportunities, you can introduce them to Ruby or whatever other opportunity that you have. So again, I have a campaign set up, as you can see, based on so here's my Ruby ebook ones, and then there's 5 emails, and they're timed out. They go out, first one goes out immediately. The second one goes out the following day, then the third day. You can space them out, and you can have 2 emails, 6 emails. You can do all kinds. You are in control as to how you communicate with them in the first sequence. So how do we use Ruby to do these kinds of things? Let me just check the time. Perfect. So how do we use Ruby? Ruby has endless opportunities. I couldn't even like put them all on the page, but these are some common ones that could help you get started on doing this. Ruby has a landing page generator. Ruby has an ebook generator. I wrote that ebook using the ebook generator. You know, we have we talk a lot about the PASS framework. That's useful here. There's a paragraph generator, so you can expand a topic. There's an email campaign strategy module. There's an email sequence module. There's a create the ultimate, like all of these things together and separately are useful to build a sales funnel. And you can get started simply by using IntelliChat. So before, I just want to check and see if there's any questions. Yep, surveys are a great idea, Michelle. Surveys, by the way, friends, are an excellent way for cold market generation, because folks are more likely to enter a survey than they are to do a lot of different things. And again, it's a quick way to get it. And you actually, I went quickly through that survey, but literally that survey is 5 questions and takes less than 2 minutes. Yeah, definitely, Pam. No, there is no need to overcomplicate any of this. Yeah, and Heidi, I even do that. So I'm going to stop the share for just 1 second. And then I'll go back. I want to show you some Ruby routines. So when we want to use the link, right? So there's a link to your funnel. Well, what do you do with that? How do you actually get that in motion? So you could do a Facebook post, you could do a TikTok, or you are warming your audience, and then you at some point are dropping the link somewhere in that conversation. Maybe it's in a DM, maybe it's on the page that says, join my thing. I've actually used that survey. I have a number of LinkedIn contacts that are that I know are network marketers, because I know that we have things in common. And so I've just reached out in the DM and said, hey, I have this really quick survey. It'll take you 2 minutes. It'd be really helpful if you'd fill it out. I have like a little teeny script. You'd be amazed at how many people have filled out that script. Filled out that survey. And then I invite them. They say, look, I understand that you are interested in passive income or directing, et cetera. And I have this really cool tool that would be like Ruby, or I have this other opportunity, but it doesn't have to be weird. It doesn't have, and it shouldn't be spammy. We don't want weird and we don't want spammy. But there are some casual ways to invite people to that. Now, I have an email list of business contacts that I wasn't sure if they'd be interested in Ruby. So I sent them an email talking a little bit about AI and offered my ebook. Because whether they're interested in Ruby or not, the curiosity might get them to be interested in the ebook because I was busting myths. So now they get the ebook, I gave them something, and then I have a follow-up series that introduces Ruby as this amazing tool and continually invites them to check out Ruby. Not spammy, not weird, but inviting them. I'm giving them something. The book is full of value. And then I have a call to action and I'm inviting them to look further. All right, so let's go to Ruby. Let me show you. Oh, hold on, I gotta call up that. 1 second. Let me hop out of this. Okay, now let me show you a couple of okay, here we go. Okay, so as I mentioned on that last slide, there is so many places to start to use Ruby that it actually could be overwhelming, and we want to take action. We don't want to get stopped up because I don't know which one to do and I don't know what order to start in. So I'm going to suggest the power of IntelliChat. IntelliChat is an amazingly powerful tool. And quite frankly, if this was the only tool in Ruby, it would still be the most powerful, value-driven tool in the market. So when I open up my IntelliChat, I have GPT-4o Mini set as my default. I don't know why specifically, but I'm drawn to it, so I like it. But we can also use lots of the other ones. And just as a reminder for those of you that, if you click the Learn More tab here, it explains all of the IntelliChats and which ones they are good for. One of the reasons that I like 4.0, because 3.5 is not in there anymore, but the reason I like 4.0 is because I think that it's a very good content generator. I think she is easy to use. I like what comes out of it, etc. And since that's the one I like, that's the one we're using today. So, but you experiment, try it. So I went through a practice today. As I mentioned, I'm a consultant and I have my own web page. And so I went to my web page and I created a persona. So I went to Personify and I typed in my URL. So just as a reminder, right here in Personify, you can create a persona from a URL. I entered that in and I then came up with my ambitious achiever. And so it's very close to how I built my website. It was almost perfect. I changed I think it had like a bachelor's degree. I changed it to a high school diploma because basically what I'm doing is I am looking to talk to individuals that are outdoor professionals, mostly in the snow and landscaping, but Ruby helped me to understand recently that I could actually talk to outdoor professionals, and that would really get me closer to what I wanted. And I went through my psychographics and my voice profiles, and I've been making sure that I have relatable and conversational in my persona. Thank you, Pam and Michelle and Heidi, because I'm getting much better results this way. So let's go back to my IntelliChat. I won't bore you with the details, but I've been chatting with Ruby, and I've been asking her what are ways to drive traffic to my funnel, etc. And she came up in the course of a lot of this detail with this idea of transform your life with 5 practical strategies for busy professionals to prioritize self-care without sacrificing career ambitions. I like it. I like it a lot. So I started a new chat. We should always start a new chat when we are starting a new process. And so I didn't want to continue that in the funnel conversation. So I went over to a new chat and I said, I want to create a landing page for 5 practical strategies for busy professionals to prioritize self-care without sacrificing career ambition. So you can see I took the title that she'd given me in another chat. And I said, please give me an opening hook, agitate their pain, 5 bullet points, why they need this PDF, and a strong call to action to opt in for the PDF. So basically, Ruby has given me all the information I need to set up a quick landing page. She is getting right to the fact of that they're constantly juggling the demands of their career. They're driven individuals, but they're not nurturing their self. You might feel like you're running on a treadmill, running fast, yet getting nowhere, exhausted, but still striving for the next promotion. Like, this is exactly the person that I want to talk to. And this is what's going on in their life. And so she gave me 5 reasons why they need this PDF: clarity, burnout, productivity, enhance their well-being. Now, am I going to go through this and really personalize it and improve the writing of it and expand on some points? Probably, yeah. But this literally took me 20 minutes today as I was sitting down trying to get the content. And for me, I call myself the blank page rock star, because I sit down to start something and I have all these ideas in my head and I cannot get started because I get all wrapped up on what should my first sentence be and what order should I do it in. And so Ruby takes away all that, because even if I don't use this specifically, I now have content to work with. I have ideas and bullet points to expand and decide, is this one make sense? Yes, no. So I took it a next step. And you see the nice call to action: download your free PDF now and unlock the secrets to prioritizing your self-care. So she's telling them exactly what they should do, and do it now. I said, write a follow-up email thanking the customer for downloading the PDF and that it's on the way to their inbox. So she wrote me an email. Thank you so much. It'll be landing in your inbox, because people click the box sometimes and then they go, well, where's my, what do I do now? So she's telling them right away, it's coming. And basically now we're starting to build a relationship. I'm acknowledging, that they need these things. So then I said, write a second email reminding them of the importance of self-care and invite them to join our wellness community of like-minded professionals where they can get additional tips and wellness hacks. So she wrote that. And so now I've invited them to take another action. I can invite them, you know, and if they take that action, great. That's showing me they'll show up in my wellness community, and then I'll know that they've taken the next action. But even if they don't take action, I've given them more reasons to self-care. I've given them more reasons and information and value. I am building a relationship with them, whether they take action or not. So then I said, write an email inviting them to a free webinar, the topics incorporating wellness into their employee training programs that can increase employee engagement, retention, recruitment. Give 3 specific points on each topic and how it relates. So again, I'm engaging with them. Hey, I want to give you a free webinar. So now I'm going to give them something else. This is how you can employ and for your employees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Don't miss out. Reserve your spot today. Create a social media post about the webinar. Create a strong hook. Give 3 tips and then a call to action to sign up. So now she's created for me a Facebook post that I can go ahead and do this. Now, I want to stop the share for a second. So this is about wellness because this is what's on my mind right now. I'm trying to build a workshop and I want to use Ruby to build my workshop. But this exact same thing can be applied to anything. If you want to build a Ruby business and you want to bring in brand influencers, this exact same format could be used for that. You would give them an ebook or some other kind of topic, then thank them for that, then invite them to AIU. That would be, so I had the wellness group that doesn't exist at the moment, but that I had AIU on my mind. And so, you know, invite them to join AIU. And now we get to love on them in 2 places because you've invited them to AIU and they're in your email list. So then let's say that we do an interview with Robert or something like that. And so you want to invite them to this free webinar and so they can learn more about, you know, whatever. Or do you guys see how you can apply this to your brick and mortar business? You can apply this to anything that you're currently doing. And did you see how I literally just did that in the IntelliChat? Now, if I started to use some of the modules, I mean, off the hook, but I have all my content and I have a bunch of emails in a matter of a few minutes. Now I could take them into Ghost and I could personalize them some more. And I'm not sure if you noticed that it was using language specific to my persona, because I have my persona in there. And so it's using words like ambition, not sacrificing your career, wanting to personal development, wanting holistic approaches. That's who my persona is. So she's speaking directly to them. I don't have to create all this stuff in my brain. She's doing it for me. Let me head over here. I want to see if there's questions in the chat.
So Sandra asked for after the flow, how many emails do you send?
Okay, that's a great question. So I always send a thank you email, always acknowledging the action that they took. And then 3 to 5 is a good follow-up series. It depends on what you are promoting. It depends on where you want to take them.
Now, after the promotion, Angela, like you're done promoting. Now let's just call it your stay in touch type emails.
Your relationship building, your cultivation. So some marketers will say you got to email them every day. Other people say every week. I would say that the sweet spot's probably every week. to stay in. I personally think emails every day is way too much. I can't possibly read emails every day. That's when you get my delete. I might not unsubscribe because I'm checking to see if the subject line has anything in it that might be of maybe they're going to offer me something that I want. So I don't opt out. I'm not saying no permanently. I'm just saying not right now, but I delete. But a weekly email or a bi-weekly email, and some still do monthly. Again, it depends. You got to provide value. You want to make sure that your emails are providing really good value and encouraging them. So if you want to offer them things and you want to have closing conversations with them, you can't email them once a month and offer them to make a purchase of some type. You have to have communication with them before that. You've got to be offering them value and education in between. Again, just like we do with social media, I can't remember what the percentages are, but like your closing ask is like 10 to 15% of the time. The rest of the time, you're adding value, you're giving education, you're supporting other, that sort of thing. So it's the same thing in the email marketing world as well.